Conference titles, All-Americans, the fall season has been a fun one if you're a North Central Cardinal fan. And time flies when you're having fun, so it's time to recap and look back on the highlights of the fall season. Hurry up and grab some couch. The Cardinal Report starts right now. Welcome to the Cardinal Report Fall Recap Edition. I'm Alex Simmons, joined by NCC men's cross country coach Carius and runners Tim Lesowitz and John Preboy. Coach, runner-up finish at the Nationals. How much has the squad grown up over the course of the season?
Yeah, this has really been one of the more satisfying years that I've ever experienced and seen. And quite frankly, it really astonished all of our coaches and an awful lot of people that we could have only 2 people returning from last year's top 15 and, evolve into the team that we did at the end of the year by, getting second at the national championship. So they matured very, very rapidly, and they gained experience along the way. And every time they competed, we kind of, from a coach's standpoint, looked and said, is this for real? Are they for real? Because they had never, most of these guys had never been at that level before, but they continued to respond and continued to grow, and it was just a great, great year for us.
Well, it was a tight race in Waverly, Iowa. Let's go to the highlight. The defending champion North Central College Cardinals come in as the #1 team in the nation, and the squad everyone is looking to beat. Cardinals senior Michael Spain is undefeated this season, fellow senior Nathan Worsler hoping to finish strong. The gun goes off and we are underway, 8,000 meters to go. At the mile mark, things are pretty tight. Spain is right there in the top 20. At 2 1/4, Spain moves up to the lead pack with St. Thomas's Ben Sather and St. Lawrence's Steve Kiplagat. Cardinals Neil Klein, Matthew Perez, and Nathan Worsler are lurking just behind in the top 35. Behind them are Dan Curley, Matt Brinkmeyer, and freshman Timothy Hurd, ranging from 60th to 90th. Half a mile later, Spain takes the lead. He can taste an individual title. Coming around the curve behind the Cardinals senior is Sather and Haverford senior Anders Holberg. As more runners come through, Klein, Perez, and Worsler have all moved up. The crowd moves to the 3 3/4 marker, and we have a new leader, Hamilton senior Peter Koske. Spain not far behind, though. Nate Stymist from Wisconsin Oshkosh leads the second cluster, followed by Klein, Worsler, and Perez in 20th, 24th, and 25th, respectively. We go to the finish, and Anders Holberg is your 2010 NCAA champion. Michael Spain leads the Cardinals, taking 3rd place and All-American honors. Klein finished 14th overall. Perez came in 26th. Worsler finishes his career with a 35th place finish. Brinkmeyer 54th. Curley is 74th overall, and the freshman Timothy Hurd comes in 109th. North Central finishes in the top 2 nationally for the 3rd straight season. Not bad for a team that lost so much of the horses from 2009.
Each race you got to take as it is, and I'm pretty happy with my performance. I threw everything I had, and I didn't end up winning, but I can't complain about how things ended up.
Mike Spain, took the reins early on and gave stability to this team, gave direction to this team, gave leadership to this team.
He gave us all the insight we needed between from our first race to this race. So he was just a great leader.
It's so much a part of me, a part of my lifestyle. The coaches are more than just coaches. The teammates are more than just teammates. I wouldn't trade a bit of it away for anything. I'm so lucky to be a part of North Central. So happy I made my decision to come there, and it's been a great 4 years. I wouldn't trade any of it.
Coach, at that meet, you guys really had a couple of bad breaks. Neil Klein loses a shoe. Dan gets knocked down. Is that just a little – it's got to be frustrating, right?
It was a very interesting, meet for us, and in fact, it kind of started early. With our top 10 athletes, we lost, one that had competed very, very well. He had a quad problem right before the conference meet, so we lost him, and then we lost Tim's brother, Pat. through an accident, and we lost him prior to the regional meet, and then in the national championship, Neil Klein lost a shoe in the first half a mile, so we ran 4.5 miles with one shoe on, one shoe off, and then Dan Curley, at about 3.5 miles, we speculate right about at that point, he gets knocked down. Somebody either, caught his shoe from behind or accidentally pushed him. He goes down, tries to get up and gets pushed down again, and he lost about 20 places at that point. So it was I guess cross country is a little bit rougher sport than a lot of people realize.
And Tim, for the senior class, Mike Spain is the guy that finishes the decorated career here with the All-American in third place at Nationals this year. How much has he kind of been a galvanizing force for, this whole senior class?
Well, I mean, I've roomed with him for all 4 years here at North Central, and every day, coming to practice, he's always super motivated, super excited, works his butt off, John, myself, all the seniors, he not only motivates us, but it's just easy to kind of piggyback off of all that he does, and just look to him for any type of training advice, or just anything in general. He's been a really good captain this year.
Looking back on your senior season, any particular moment that sticks out from this fun year?
I think personally, conference meet. I was in the conference meet. That was probably the top moment for me. For the team in general, the national championship meet. It was a blast just being there. I think it was kind of bittersweet for some of us, but just seeing the group of guys that we had coming into the year, in June, speculating on what place we would possibly finish, and seeing the youth, that kind of filled in, all the seniors that left last year. If you would have said, in June that we would have gotten second place this year, we would have probably all been ecstatic. But just seeing how we evolved this year, and the expectation that we created of being a national champion every year, it was a little bit of a letdown. But it was all in all, it was fantastic.
And John, kind of going off of that, you're a part of this senior class as well. I guess as one of the senior leaders on this team, kind of looking the way this team has progressed over the season. Coach talked about how expectations really weren't there for this team. Not a lot of people expected you to get that good of a finish in nationals. Just kind of, what has the process of the year been like?
Talking with some of the young guys at the end of the year, I commented on just how much they've grown coming in. We were, like Tim said, we were kind of unsure about a lot of things, and it was really great to see throughout the season, like big chunks of guys just taking the steps to doing the right things, and then other guys see them doing it, and then they're hopping along the train as well. And it's just by the end of the year we had everyone all on the same page, and it was just really remarkable to see that many guys make the step.
How much fun was this?
Oh, it was a blast. This is probably the most fun I've had. It was just great. It's really hard to put into words. So.
Definitely. Coach, how much have these two guys grown in their time here in the program?
That's a very, very good question. I'm going to talk to our upper class leaders, with John and Tim and R.J. McNichols, and these guys internally really helped shape this team and help this team mature at the rapid rate that they did. And any organization or any team is only, and I mean this, only as good as its internal leadership. And I'm not talking about coaches, I'm talking about the peer leaders within the team that really help to set the direction, and that's what these young men have done, all along. We recognized their role early on, and I know we talked to them before the season started, how important they were to what this team was going to become or could become, and that we needed their leadership this year more than I can really remember, because of how young we were going to be going into the year, and they provided it, and it's a real tribute to these upperclassmen that the youngsters came through and had the season that they did. So it's really our upper class leaders that I want to really compliment.
And Coach, you've talked about the kind of uncertainty that this team had coming into the season. Kind of just compare to what you feel now at the end with the way they've done so well at Nationals.
Well, it certainly changes, our outlook. I mean, last year, it's hard to say, but in the summer we actually thought, wow, this could be a real struggle to even get to the Nationals, and that's been a thought we've never had, since I've ever been here. It's automatic. We're going to be at the national championship, and we're going to be a national level, team and program, and. But we were so young and inexperienced, and we really did not know what we were going to have. So now we lose 2 seniors, and we've got 8 of our top 10 coming back, maybe maybe much more than that in our top 15, coming back. We're very, very young yet, but we're experienced. And I was at a sophomore in my office this morning, and I was just talking, a year ago, you didn't know you were a national level runner. Now you know you're a national level runner, so it really helps to raise their expectation, level of confidence, and their view of what they can become in the future. So we've evolved an awful long way in a very short period of time, and we're still young, so we're very, very excited about next year.
And Tim, kind of looking at yourself, I guess compare, freshman Tim coming into the program compared to, you just finished your last race in the cross country portion of things.
Well, coming into, freshman year, you're just, everything's new to you. Everything is, unexpected. You don't have any, idea of, what the season is going to be like, because you come off of high school where, everything, was the same thing, and this is a new program. So, there's definitely that adjustment period freshman year, when it comes to the training, when it comes to, just being in college in general. But, freshman, junior, or sophomore, junior year, it's a transition period, and then you're able to adapt to the training. And especially, the training we have here is all about the long-term, development of a runner. And, junior and senior year, you can really see all the hard work, you put in freshman and sophomore year. You can see that, in your performances.
Definitely. Well, guys, it's been a fun year. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Stick around. There's more Cardinal Report just around the corner.